What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Mike on the mic. Welcome to Facebook Live with Mike on the mic on a Warriors Wednesday. That's why I'm rocking the W hat. A little Washington Nationals going on. I've got Facebook Live and YouTube popping off. Well, actually, it's going to get uploaded to YouTube. By the way, thank you, Rob and Mike, for sharing the video. Appreciate that. Theme song for tonight, Peep It. Your mind and I see your in your eyes. Why are you surprised? No matter how you try, not fly as Eloquaz. The new edition. Is this the end? I know it's not Trivia Tuesday, but who can guess who's rapping right now on this track? Sounded good though. Who wanna spark it with the chocolate, macadamium, head clean to the cranium. Up to 4 viewers, make that 5. I'm loving it. Let's get that up to like 20. Logan Overly sharing the show as well. Had to hit you off with a little You Can't Stop the Rain by Shaq Diesel. Shaquille O'Neal, yes, he did make a pretty dope rap song, especially being that it's raining here in the Bay Area. I felt it was appropriate. And then when we talk about the Warriors, it's going to be real appropriate when we talk about Steph. They couldn't stop his rain tonight out there in Dallas, making it rain from all over the place. 6 of 13 from beyond the arc. His game winner was a 3-point shot with 3 seconds left. Also hit a 30-foot shot near the beginning of the game. Steph was on it tonight as he helped the Warriors get the win, 125-122 in Dallas. 32 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists for Steph. Mike Arnold saying, "Yo, mammy." Robert Cambara, Shaq, LOL, it was Shaq. And Robert saying, sounded like a Bay Area rapper to me. Yeah, Shaq Diesel laid it down, man. I got to give him some props in the rap game. Can't Stop the Rain is a hit. I don't know if it's as much of a hit as Mac Dre's It's Raining Game in Northern California, but it's pretty good. But like I said, folks, it is a hashtag Warriors Wednesday. And the Warriors just doing their thing, starting a road trip as they'll do the Southwest Tango, taking on Dallas tonight, and then they'll take on the Houston Rockets tomorrow in a national televised game. Matt Lopez saying, "Sup, Mike? What's up, Matty Lowe?" Also got Barbara Brando in the house watching. Like I said, Logie in the house, JMP, who's joining IHX. Wish him the best with training. JMP, he's a Warriors fan. He knows what's up. If you guys want to dish in on the Warriors, you know the deal. Let me know. Who is your favorite Warrior? Let's start with that. I mean, this is a team here who's, looking for the repeat, and I think they're going to do it. I don't think anyone can stop the Warriors when they're playing their best. It's unfair that they have 4 guys that you would consider starting in the All-Star game in their starting roster. With KD, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, and of course Steph Curry, which, by the way, speaking of Draymond Green, I'll play a little funny clip on this version of Facebook Live with Mike on the mic. My Wednesday funnies involving Draymond Green. You guys are going to like it. Rob saying, I heard E40 dropping something new with Ren from Doja Click. Okay. Throwing it back. I'm just glad Robert Cambara is in the house watching. I thought after all the grief he caught last night between David Guerra calling him out, saying he's pretty much the Barry Bonds of Facebook Live with Mike on the mic, and we need to put asterisks next to the points he earns on Trivia Tuesday. His own brother-in-law getting in on the ribbing. And Tony Ariana saying he's always on his iPad. The dude cheats. So I'm glad to see Rob was a good soul about it. Could take a little bit of joking around and is back watching the show. I really appreciate my consistent viewers. But let's talk about the Warriors game. I mean, like I said, that's obviously first and foremost on this Warriors Wednesday. And it was Steph doing what Steph does. Like I said, going 6 of 13 from beyond the arc in the final 125-122 victory for the Warriors, who now improved to 30-8 overall in the season. Dallas falls to 13-26. The Warriors leading 35-26 after one, and then got outscored by the Mavericks in the second quarter, 35-32. And so the Warriors had the halftime lead of 67 to 61. And then again, the Mavericks outscoring the Warriors in the third, 28-24. So that made the score 91-89. And then a thrilling fourth quarter in which the Warriors outscored the Mavericks 34-33 and end up winning the game 125-122. And this is how the Warriors won the game. I'm going to show it to you on Facebook Live, and then I'll just show it on Facebook Live. I don't think when I upload this to YouTube that I can actually show the clip. But here it is. This is the game-winning clip from Steph, for those of you that didn't see it here on the Facebook Live shoot. Let me take off my little protector case there. There we go. And look at Steph hitting the three-point shot for the win. Here we go. Like I said, with 3 seconds left. One more time. And that was Steph getting it done there. And then here was Steph's 30-footer near the beginning of the game. Check this one out. First quarter, 8-8 tie. From way downtown. Steph with just unlimited range. Unbelievable, that guy. And so we'll get you the other figures here in just a second for the box score. Like I said, a couple raindrops there. You saw it. By the way, Jan Michael saying, Swaggy P. Okay, that's his favorite Warrior. Rob saying, watching you while running on a treadmill. Okay, Rob, New Year's resolution is to get fit. I like it. And he's saying he's on mile 4 now. Okay, I could dig that. Rob saying, by the way, I made tri-tip for you again tonight, and you didn't show up. Ask Mama and Anna. Okay, well, way to give me the late invite. Marlene chiming in, saying, nice. David Guerra, his third night in a row, making an appearance as a viewer on the show, saying, yeah, I'm here 3 nights in a row. It's like a Christmas miracle in January. And then Mike Arnold saying, Steph being Steph. Of course, that is to be the case. Like I said, Steph was ridiculous. 32 points in 34 minutes overall. 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 11 of 19 from the field overall, 6 of 13 from beyond the arc, 4 of 5 at the free throw line. He did have a steal as well to go with that. And then for the others on the floor, in the starting lineup, Kevin Durant in 38 minutes scores 25 points and 12 rebounds, so a double-double for him with 6 assists. 10 of 21 from the field, only 1 of 5 from three-point, but did make all 4 of his free throws, and then continuing to just throw his own block parties every night he's out on the floor, inviting all of the opponents to come on down and get served. 4 blocks for Kevin Durant tonight. He is really turning his defensive game around this season. He's out to prove that he is the best player in the league. He wants to take that title and mantra away from LeBron James. LeBron's team losing tonight in a big battle in Beantown. We'll talk about that maybe towards the end of the show. Meanwhile, Klay Thompson, 25 points in 36 minutes. So he got himself out of a slump. Thompson slumped quite a bit when Steph was out. He was trying to be the guy, and yet wasn't finding his rhythm. To go along with the 25 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 11 of 19 from the field, 3 of 6, so made half of his three-pointers tonight, did Klay. Didn't attempt a free throw, but also had 2 steals and a block. And then Zaza rounding out the starters. 12 minutes on the floor. He had 7 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. And then as for the bench, let's see, what did Swaggy P do? He didn't score anything. So JMP's favorite boy, Swaggy P, 12 minutes on the floor, no points. You want to talk about a guy who's been slumping a little bit? Definitely Swaggy P has lost his touch. Only had 1 rebound, 0 for 2 from the floor. So he probably had a horrible minus number for his final stat. Meanwhile, Patrick McCall, 7 points off the bench. Jordan Bell, 2 points. David West, 7 points. So the bench just not getting it done at all. It was really all the starters when you talk about Durant, Thompson, Curry. And then what about Draymond Green? Left him out. He had a double-double, 18 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. 1 steal, 1 block. 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. 7-11 from the field overall. So Draymond Money Green was money tonight. And speaking of Draymond Green, here is a little bit of comedy for you, courtesy of one of my all-time favorite comedians, Dave Chappelle. And he took the time to involve Draymond Green in his latest stand-up on Netflix. And I'll show you guys that here in just a second. Let me flip the camera around. And here we go. Tell me what you think. This is Chappelle getting Draymond. Draymond replying, saying, at Dave Chappelle, before I played a video, here's what he said. He said, come on, bro. I just named my son Draymond. Haha. So Draymond taking it all in good fun. But here's the clip for Chappelle on Netflix. And there is a little bit of not suited for words language. But here we go. This is Chappelle on Netflix in his latest stand-up talking about Draymond Green.
Didn't even change her name. Her name is Rachel. I can't believe in that name. If you want my support, you're going to have to change your name to the blackest shit I've ever heard. But you're going to have to change your name to Draymond Green. I don't know a blacker name than that. That shit is black on paper. If you type Draymond Green into Airbnb, that shit will log off automatic.
And so there is Chappelle having a little fun at Draymond's expense there in his latest stand-up. Just thought I'd play that for you, a little Wednesday night comedy. Let's get back to the comments, get caught up on those. Rob saying, been running past half a year. You know how lazy I am, and I've lost 25 pounds already. Okay, so big ups to Robert Cambara, the big winner on my show. Shedding them LBs. Mike Arnold saying, how are my Timber Puppies doing this season? Yeah, we'll talk maybe a little Timber Puppies here in a couple minutes. David M. Garrett saying, nice to see you, Mike Arnold. And Mike saying, hey, Davo. David saying, not to change topic, but at some point tonight, could you talk about doing the calling on the Liberty game? How was it? Awesome to be a part of that since you are an alum. Yeah, I'll definitely talk about that. It was amazing, man. I mean, it was pretty cool. And to get to be a part of that, like you said, as an alum, as someone that played for Liberty in my football career, you know, played 2 years on varsity. We were the first team to beat Freedom since the inaugural game back in 98. We beat them in 03. And we always thought that we would be the best Liberty team ever. And then you have a team that comes along and goes 11-2, wins themselves a championship, and demolishes Freedom in shutout fashion in Brentwood, too. They got to do it in their home city, and that was pretty cool at Heritage. So you had all 3 high schools in the district involved in the championship game. The unfortunate thing was it didn't mean anything moving forward as far as Liberty winning the Division I championship. They did not get to advance to play a NorCal Regional Bowl game. But you know what? That was how you want your season to end. Beating your rivals in a championship game. You know, I'll take that over advancing to a Regional Bowl game any day of the week. And it was pretty awesome, to say the least. It was cold out there, and I know I made a couple mistakes on Kevin Hartwig. I think there was times where I was calling him Ryan Hartwig. I was getting him confused with Ryan Partridge, the coach of Liberty, who did an amazing job in his first year. And who's watched the first 2 episodes of my show. He hasn't come on yet tonight. Maybe at some point he will. But no, it was awesome, man. I had my dad there with me too. He didn't broadcast the game with me, but he was up top on the booth with me. And so to have my dad there with me for one of my most important broadcasting moments in my career, you couldn't have asked for a better storybook ending. And not only that, but I was supposed to have a color guy and a camera guy and a producer, like I always do, for my broadcast with NFHS Network. And our camera guy never showed up. We had no idea where he was. We tried getting a hold of him, and we couldn't get a hold of him. We had the producer, we had the color guy, and so the color guy, really, just a class act, said, you know what, Mike, I am going to jump on the camera, and I'm going to let you broadcast this one by yourself. You deserve it. It's your team, and have the call of your life. And that meant a lot to me, for me to have the call to myself. Although, like I said, it's kind of tough when you're doing play-by-play all by yourself. This is easy to keep talking by myself. I do have you guys here with me. I don't know if I could do this by myself if I had no viewers to participate with. But broadcasting, it's a little tough to do it all by yourself because you're almost afraid to have any downtime or dead air where you would normally pause and let the color guy interject his thoughts. You're kind of stuck, and you're trying to come up with things on the fly. At least when I give the color guy a chance to talk, I can look up stats that I wanted to point out and things like that. But when you're by yourself, you just have to go on the fly. And so for that, it was a little hard. But, and like I said, it was cold, but there was a great crowd at hand. Like I said, with the game being played at Heritage High School, nearby for both high schools to bring their fans to, it was awesome. It was really cool. And, like I said, it's a game that will go down in the history books, not only for Liberty winning their first ever football championship in 115 years as a high school, but, also for me as a broadcaster, that'll go down as one of my most memorable broadcast, if not the most memorable broadcast. So it was really awesome. Thank you, David, for asking me about that. Of course, Liberty looked amazing, 37-0, thus taking our title of largest win against Freedom in the rivalry series. Our team back in 2003, my senior year, beat them 38-31 in the first ever game of the rivalry played at Freedom's home field. And so we thought that record was always going to stand, but then Liberty not only did they beat the point margin by winning by 37 points, but then they shut them out 37-0. And Freedom, to shut out Freedom, pretty impressive, especially because Kevin Hartwig does have himself quite the program. And it was very impressive for Liberty, and they're going to be good in the future as well. Their quarterback, Butterfield, just a sophomore this year, pedigree, as his dad, Mark Butterfield, played in the NFL. And so Jay Butterfield, the quarterback for Liberty, will be a junior next year, 6'4", almost 200 pounds. So he has great quarterback size. And he'll bring back with him Tyrell Sturgis-Kofer, running back, who will be in his senior year next year, as well as Sione Vaki, tight end. He does lose Zane Hinojosa, which might be the baddest white boy I've ever seen at Liberty High School history. I don't know. Trevor Johnston might make a claim to that. Of course, my boy J.J. Brandon would as well. But Zane Hinojosa had himself a phenomenal year, phenomenal game, both in the semifinal game against San Leandro leading up to the championship, and then the championship game against Freedom, just making big-time plays. And I hope he will be playing at the next level, because he definitely is quite the receiver out there. Can make a lot of guys miss, and just an overall stud out there on the field. By the way, I see some questions being asked between the folks. Kirksey saying, "What up, Mike? Not going to leave you hanging tonight. Thank you." Yeah, you dipped on me early, both you and your brother Corey, but I understand. Mike Arnold saying, "Haha, all good. Andrew, how are you, my man?" David saying, "I couldn't get the website to work to watch the game. I was bummed. I'm sorry to hear about that. I think my mom had it going." Kirksey saying, "Doing well, Mr. Arnold. How about you?" So I like the camaraderie between my fans. Love it, actually, is more the word. David Gary saying, "Sellout crowd, right?" Oh, yeah. Standing room only. And then there was one point in time, at halftime, the lights went out. And that was reminiscent of my sophomore year when we played Freedom at home. We had to beat a visitor team at our own home stadium. Lights go out in our game, but it was okay because it was daytime. And so then the lights come back on, but the scoreboard lights never came back on. Talking about my sophomore game. And of course, that was probably the most pandemonium I've ever seen in a Bell game before. I mean, that was probably the biggest crowd I've ever seen, was that game for the varsity game my sophomore year at Liberty. Like I said, we were the away team at our own home stadium, but there had to be about 10,000 there that night. This game, I'd probably say in the 2,000 to 3,000 range. But like I said, the lights went out, and then what was cool was Liberty's band had Christmas lights like decorating their instruments. So they were lighting up the crowd for us when the lights went out in the stadium, and so that was pretty cool. Andrew Kirk saying, my alma mater played Freedom my junior year. It was not pretty. Yeah, Freedom has themselves a program, and that's kind of the big topic, is who's going to take over at Freedom High School in Oakley, as Kevin Hartwig did resign and retire about 2 weeks ago. Said that he wanted to spend more time with his family. He doesn't want to miss his boys growing up, which is kind of odd because one of his boys is in high school right now playing football for Freedom, so you would think he would at least want to coach his son, but he said he wants to be able to watch his son and not have to worry about, coaching and spending time looking at other people. So I can respect that. He just wants to be dad and not coach, and we'll see if maybe after his kids graduate high school, if that changes, but some names being tossed around, some guys that played football with a lot of my classmates and friends back in ECYF days, that being Zach McNally, a star and stud here in the Brentwood, Oakley area, grew up in Oakley, went and played high school ball at De La Salle, and then played college ball at Colorado, I believe, or Colorado State. Maybe San Jose State. I'll have to look into my Zach McNally days, but now coaches at James Logan in Union City. And he's being bounced around, as well as Coach Rodriguez over there from Encinal High School, who resigned from Encinal, so maybe it makes sense. He resigned from Encinal, a smaller school, to take the big job at Freedom. We'll see. They have yet to name their coach or make it official who's taken over for Kevin Hartwig. But there's no denying and no doubt that Hartwig definitely elevated Freedom to program status here in the Bay Area. One of the top programs in the Bay Area, has made the BBAL maybe the best league in the Bay Area for the last couple of years with the emergence of Freedom. And then you have Pittsburgh, Liberty coming on, and of course Antioch, Najee Harris, who will be playing in the Natty next Monday night for Alabama against Clemson. He's the future freshman running back over there for the Roll Tide. And so yeah, the BBAL is in a good place right now. Like I said, Freedom a little shaken up, but I'm sure they're going to get themselves a top-notch coach to take over for Kevin Hartwig. By the way, Kirksey saying it's tough to do it solo. Used to do it all the time back in the day on podcasts, so still do it time to time. Talking about being on your own broadcasting. David Garrett saying, I can see the content and achievement to a personal goal in your demeanor as you're talking about it. Thank you for sharing. Lion pride for us all. Yeah, thank you, David. I appreciate that. Kirksey saying, Mark Butterfield, gonna Google that name. Okay, there you go. Yeah, it's one word, Butterfield. David saying, I would love to watch a game with you if you ever give me a heads up. Then head over to Tailgaters for a beer. Yeah, we could do that, man, next year. We'll have to get that going. Manny saying, Happy New Year's, Mikey. Happy New Year, Manny. Can you spread the Happy New Year's vibes and wishes to your dad as well? You're asking, how you been? Man, I've been great, Chilling here on a Warriors Wednesday. Asking my folks that are Warriors fans who their favorite Warrior is. Had one vote earlier for Swaggy P. That was from JMP. My boy Jam Michael getting promoted to IHX. Congratulations, my dog. Meanwhile, David Garrett saying, us freshmen were in the stands, LOL. Watching those varsity games when the lights went out. Yeah, that was when Tabke got in the big fight. By the way, thank you, Manny, for sharing the show. Tabke got in the Donnybrook at the end. I'll tell you, that game was crazy, man. I'd never seen a game like that. It had everything you wanted. There was fights in the stands, fights on the field. People had to ask fans what the score was because, like I said, the scoreboard lights never came back on after our game. Helicopters circling around the stadium. I think it was broadcast on locally on the Comcast Sports Network. So, yeah, no, that game was crazy, man. There wasn't an empty seat in the house. And that was before they had all that stuff behind Liberty. So that's when it was just cow fields behind there and man, just like I said, being the visitor at our own home stadium, it was so degrading because we were right next to all the cow crap. Oh, man, it smelled so bad. That's why, and I think that's what really propelled us to victory my senior year, because like I said, that was my sophomore year, was we wanted revenge so bad on Freedom for making us beat a visitor at our own home stadium that my senior year, when they finally got their own field, and they were 0-9, Freedom was, going into that game. That's all they wanted to save their season, was to get the win against Liberty, go 1-9, finish the year. Meanwhile, we were fighting for our playoff lives. We knew we had to win that game. I lobbied over to Comcast. Ring, ring, ring. Hey, you guys need to broadcast this year's version of the Bell game. And they did. And I ended up winning co-player of the game for being the motivational force on the sidelines. Of course, I wasn't getting much time. You know what I'm saying? My boy JJ Brandon, the real MVP, as he had himself, I want to say, 3 touchdowns on the night. Had a fake punt scored. I mean, JJ was awesome. But, yeah, we whooped him, man. And the cool thing was, Stance was usually the guy, Coach Stance. He didn't want anyone fitting up outside the normal. He was against individualism to a T. I mean, he hated people that, spatted up their cleats and wore wristbands and armbands. And our normal uniforms were the white tops with the Cardinal numbers and then just solid Cardinal pants. And in our home jerseys, we had the Cardinal jerseys with the gold numbers outlined with like a white shadow box. And then we had these white pants with Cardinal and gold stripes. So when we played Freedom that year, we were like, hey, Coach, man, we got to win this game to get in the playoffs. First time playing at Freedom. Let's go white on white. And Stance is like, I don't know. And we convinced him to go white on white. We look so clean. I'll have to take a picture and post it on Facebook tomorrow, as I do have a beautiful picture taken by my dad, who is our team photographer, framed of me when I did get on the field at the safety position. I got in on the tackle of Jabari Jackson, and I'm just looking clean. Like I said, you guys will see the picture tomorrow. I'll post it. But, yeah, I'm looking fresh to death in my white-on-white with my wristies, my spat. And so we come out of the locker room pregame, and Freedom's going back into the locker room, and normally they wore blue jerseys with silver pants, and so they stared us down, we stared them down, and they come back out of the locker room before the game, and they're decked out in all blue. So that's when we knew it was time to unleash a whooping on Freedom. Don't try to beat us in our game, all right? We're the fresh-to-death captains, okay? Captain of the clean team, that was us, and you guys were just some chumps. But yeah, we took it to them. And then, of course, my junior year game was pretty legendary too. That was the Fog Bowl. We were the home team that year at our home stadium. And that's when Freedom had Bodish Ball in his senior year, Stuart Goebel as well. And yeah, I mean, that was Fog Bowl 5, man. I mean, it was clear as day before we took the field for pregame warmups. As soon as the game starts, just this thick blanket of fog hovers over the field at Olmsted Field, the stadium where our home stadium, Liberty High School, Brentwood, California. And I mean, you couldn't see from the sidelines. You definitely couldn't see Freedom's sideline bench, but you could barely even see halfway across the field. And it remained like that kind of fog, this thick, you couldn't see nothing type of fog all the way throughout the whole game. As soon as the game's over, back to clear skies. I mean, it was amazing. And we lose to Freedom in a close one. We had the chance to march down and score, and we needed to score because we were down by 4 points. And Tony Prohaska got us the pass interference call to get us down deep. And then on 4th and inches, Stance runs a toss play to Clinton Koga, or make that Russell Koga. Sorry, I work with his brother Clinton, DirecTV tech here locally in the area. And Russ got stopped before he could pick up the first down. I always thought we should have, we run Russ right up the middle on 4th and inches, and he gets stopped. And we had so much room to our sideline that I always say we should have ran Russ on the toss play to the right, and I think he would have got it. But we run up the middle. We weren't able to get it, and so we lose that year, my junior year, my first year on varsity, in Fog Bowl 5 to Freedom. Mondisa saying, what's up, Big Mike? What did I miss? I'll tell you what you missed. You missed Steph Curry going off, me playing Can't Stop the Rain by Shaq and Notorious B.I.G. Being that it's raining here literally in Northern California, and being that Steph going off from beyond the arc, 6 of 13, 32 points tonight he dropped, including the game winner in Dallas. And now the Warriors will get set to take on who I think is the second best team in the Western Conference in the Houston Rockets tomorrow. That'll be on TNT. We'll see if James Harden goes for them. I know him and Chris Paul both a little nicked up. Mike Arnold saying, I vote John Gruden. I don't know what that was about. Maybe for his favorite Warrior. He never played for the Warriors. Mom saying 3 days in a row. Damn. Jeff Kajiwara saying Alvin Adels. Okay, going old school with his favorite Warrior pick. I like that, Kaji. Great pick. David Guerra saying that game was intense. The stadium was vibrating, screaming so loud you couldn't hear the marching band. Talking about, my sophomore year game. Maybe he's talking about my senior year game. No wristbands, no Under Armour. LOL. Yeah, I had the clean wristies, man. Custom wristbands by Mindy Cambridge making those for me. They were the Nike wristbands with the LHS football and my number 24 on it. Pfft, clean, bro. Rob saying that happened for us playing Folsom. Maybe talk about the Fog Bowl. Kirksey saying the Fog Bowl back when the names of bowls were just simple. Now they got to be super difficult. Rob Kambar saying clear skies started pouring at kickoff. And Kirksey saying, yeah, Harden's going to be out for 2 weeks, so he will not be participating in the Best of the West battle tomorrow night out at the Toyota Center in his hometown of Houston. Kirksey saying, hey, I sent a request if you got time, my friend. All right, yeah, let's get Kirksey on. I'll approve of that. So let's bring on my man Kirksey. Yo, what's going on, brother? Happy New Year.
Same to you, man. I'm glad you're back, man. I was missing my mic on the mic fix from September to December.
Yeah, man. Like I said, from September to December, it was kind of crazy, man. I just wanted to make sure I was getting adjusted with my new job now, my new position. And, I've been getting off earlier, so the folks have been digging some quality time, being that I live at the house with them still, watching some stuff with my dad, whether it's, baseball, football, basketball, and especially leading into the holidays. It was a rough holiday season for my mom and dad with my sister moving out to Florida in August, and so they weren't able to make it out for Thanksgiving or Christmas. And with my sister being out there, that means my nieces, a.k.a. the grandkids, are out there. And so, like I said, it was really tough for mom and dad. So just wanted to make sure I was sticking around for them. And then not only that, but there was a couple late nights I've been having with this job too, even though I'm supposed to be off earlier than I was at my old post working at the flagship store in the city. So yeah, man, I wanted to surprise you guys. New Year's resolution, I said I'm bringing the show back.